So becoming a better observer. Bono says that if you're a bad observer in real life, you're going to be a bad observer in remote viewing because it directly relates to your ability to see what you see and then sketch it onto paper. And in your act of doing that, in your act of sketching it onto paper, you have to remember what you saw. And so if you remember all the fine details and what you saw, then you're able to better translate that into a sketch. Um, so this, let's say you guys seen YouTube Shorts and Facebook Reels and all that stuff now, where you're scrolling, you're scrolling, and about five YouTube Shorts later, you can't remember what you saw five YouTube Shorts before. Um, And the reason for that is like you're short circuiting your ability to have continuity in memory. So if I have 20 seconds snippet of time that I'm looking at this video, scroll, then there's no continuity here. Your brain doesn't process that. So it sees this, okay, this is other video now. This is other video. And so that's the the beauty of today's programming is you have things like YouTube Shorts that wrecks your memory, it wrecks your continuity, it wrecks your focus and your ability to think. But when it comes to observation skills, this is something you can develop in your everyday life. Um, if I walk into some cafe that I've never been in, how much, let's say you spent an hour in there, you go home later that night, how much do you actually remember about that cafe? Like fine details do you remember about that cafe? Do you remember the texture of the wood that was on the chair? Do you remember the texture of the table? Do you remember uh in your direct vicinity was there a plug in the wall? What would the person wearing in front of you? Um, there's a lot of stuff that your brain just filters out, but because it deems it not important. And that plays into your observation skills because you don't observe as much as we're used to or we should be, um, especially if you're like in a city area. There's so much going on that you block out a lot of it. So this is something you can start to do is sitting in a room and just spend 20 minutes just remembering things. Just remember it, commit it to memory. 5 minutes later, you recall it. Okay, what did I see 5 minutes ago? What was it? What was it exactly about that the table, about the texture of the wood that I remember? And then just keep doing that. So you're looking at something, committing it to memory, then recall it later. That solidifies the memory in your brain.